Malik Scott discusses his pad work with Deontay Wilder. I found this interesting. Let's talk about it.
Push the weight enough flex. Flex the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Little article that I found interesting on a boxing scene. The link will be in the description. I just found this very interesting in reference to Malik Scott's ideology on pad work. Deontay Wilder's been posting on his Instagram his training, and one thing people noticed was that he's looking sharp, looking fast, turning punches. He's looking fluid. And you're seeing him do things on the pads that people say, well, I've never seen him do that in the ring. Well, that's also the concern of Team Fury based off of what you're seeing. And I hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, what people do on the pads is not what they do in the ring. True. Because you can make the case with Floyd Mayweather. You just see him and Roger. Those are just epic things that you see them do. It's really, it's eye candy to see Floyd hit the pads, and him and Roger had a rhythm, and it was fun to watch. But it was a rehearsed dance move to me. It was fun to watch, but it's like, well, what does that really do? I'm sure it did some things, but the average person off the street learning how to box, that's not going to get it. So I listened to the podcast. It was on the PBC podcast with Malik Scott. And he broke down the pad work and what it actually does. Let me read to you some of the stuff he said. He said, we're living in a mitt era where everyone is doing mitts and looking good on mitts. He said to the PBC podcast, in my opinion, everybody doesn't look good on mitts, though. Everyone is just looking like copycats, throwing a bunch of punches and slipping and dipping. True. That right there fakes the consumer out and doesn't really know much about about boxing, but they see something that looks good and they think that it is. Okay, he said, me and Deontay's pad work is not fabricated pad work at all. We're not looking like Roger and Floyd Mayweather on the pads. We're doing sufficient combinations that he has done before. We're just doing it more consistent, more sharper, more surgical, mindset behind it, and we're just doing that and working. Now, let me stop right there for a minute. I like Malik Scott's approach. For those of you that didn't know that he was this sharp, to be honest with you, I'm finding this out about Malik Scott as you are. And based off of hearing him talk about his philosophy behind boxing, this man is a student of the game. And all of these things that we're seeing now is definitely frightening Team Fury and the rest of the opposition. That's why we didn't get a fight on the 24th. A, Tyson Fury wasn't ready. B, they're looking at this and saying, yo, look, we're not ready for that. Sugar Hill knows what's going on. Sugar Hill's not stupid. He knows the sport, and he's a trainer. And he's looking at this saying, no. This isn't him just wailing on the bag. This right here is different. He's coming in different. We have to go back to the drawing board. Pay your lawyers millions of dollars and try to get out of it. But in the event we don't get out of it, Tyson, you need to get in the gym. We need to work on some stuff. And Tyson ain't listening. That's why he wasn't ready for the 24th. But let me read on. He goes on to say, I don't have Deontay throwing 18 punch combinations, 4 pivots, 18 slips. I'm speaking Chinese to the people that don't know boxing. That's not what I'm doing here. That's not what we're doing, Scott said. I have him doing sufficient things that he actually does in fights. I just have him doing it more because he is going to do it more when he is in the trilogy with Tyson Fury. You get what I'm trying to say? Nothing about our work is fabricated. Number one, Deontay doesn't really like all the fabricated pad work. He's not that kind of fighter. And me as a trainer and being a student of the game, I just said that, I don't know. I know the kind of fighter that I'm training. I'm not training a welterweight. I'm not training someone that has 200 punch output in the round. No, I'm training the most dangerous puncher in the history of the sport. His one punch is equivalent to most people's 10 punches. There's no lie there. His 2 punches are equivalent to most people's 13 punches. If I have Deontay Wilder on a 4-punch combination, that's realistic because there are times he's throwing 4, 5, 6-punch combinations. Now, this guy's armed and ready. And I felt the need to do this video because I've seen a lot of people saying, well, pads don't hit back. They don't. But go look at go find the podcast where he said it. Go look at Boxing Scene and read the quote. I'm going to put the link in the description. Because one thing I will say is that people are saying, yo, I've never seen Deontay do that before. You haven't. But that doesn't mean that he never knew how to do it. It's just that he felt he didn't need to do it. Now, he slowed it down. Malik Scott and him has gone to the drawing board. And I think you heard him say, yo, look, when we lost the second fight, we were already discussing how we were going to beat him in the third. Before they even left the building, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like fairly recent. They said, yo, we was already planning on how we was going to get this get back. And this is before the cheating thing came about, before they found that out. So that's respect right there. Before they knew they got cheated, they said, look, we got to do this again. We got to have a different approach. So that's showing your opponent respect. And all this other cheating stuff, all that did was just say, it just furthered what he already knew. Okay, it did feel unnatural. He had to cheat to beat me twice. Well, we got a draw. He cheated and got a draw. First time, cheated to beat me in the second time. Oh, I'm good, because third time, oh no, he's not getting away with it. Now, Fury didn't cheat. What happened on the 24th? Because somebody's supposed to be celebrating, and the other person is supposed to be sulking. Again, why are the Wilder supporters more annoyed with the 24th not happening than the Fury supporters, the Fury fans? I'm sorry, Fury don't have any fans. He has a bunch of Wilder haters. Because once Fury's decapitated, there will be no use for him. On to the next. Get back on the AJ bandwagon. Granted, he gets past Usyk. Go ahead and get back on that. Get ready. Because after that, the only other fight that makes sense, financial sense, is Deontay versus AJ again. And watch what Eddie Hearn does. I have no faith in that guy either. But as you can see, in this current atmosphere, as supporters of the sport, we need to get what we want when it's available. Because we don't know when the next pandemic is going to come. Give us these fights before people die. This is ridiculous. So the pad work is essential and it's not for show. Yeah, we know pads don't hit back. Yeah, that's cute to say that. But something about him releasing those videos of him hitting the pads, it frightened Team Fury. Something about that frightened Team Fury. Believe me, it did. Because now we got to wait till October 9th. Not August 9th, not September 9th, October. Strange, but true. Show up. I dare you. Pad work's essential, and I know it scared you. Boss, show up. I dare you. Pad work is essential, and what you saw scared you. Y'all from the Bronx, it's easy. Peace.